So part two of a different location here in Tucson. Let's do some um, DoorDash over here today, not by the college students. So we're gonna see what it does today. This Thursday, it's in the morning, and we're gonna see how it goes dashing today. Okay, so after the last DoorDash video in Tucson, I honestly said, was it worth it? I ended up downtown, low paying orders, parking issues. The whole thing was just bad. But I decided to give Tucson one more chance. Just a different area, y'all. And this time it was actually better. But there's still something you need to know before you dash out here. So this time I made sure to stay away from downtown and went to a different part of Tucson. I wanted to see if maybe it was just the location that messed me up the first time, or it was the whole market was like that. So right off top, I noticed I was getting more orders than the first time. It wasn't super busy, but it was definitely more consistent. Most of the deliveries were short distance, and a lot of them were I had like the stack orders. I did have a couple of those. And I did notice like here the tips are different. If you look at my orders, the tips seem higher to me in Phoenix, but I don't know if it just cause it was a Thursday. I am dashing during the week, so take that in consideration. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, this is already better than the first time, but the real question is it actually better money or just more work for the time, or more work for the, I might say the same pay? Is it more work? Okay, y'all, so after working for a while this time, I ended up making about $53 total. Now compared to the first day where I only made $19, this definitely felt better. So the different location did make a difference, but again, I actually don't know the area. The orders were coming in. It was very consistent. It's just that they were long distances, some of them, and the tips are just low. They were just low. But when you really break it down, it still wasn't that great for the amount of time I was out there. Yeah, it was busier, but the pay on the orders still wasn't very high. So between both days in Tucson, I made around $70 total, but I spent hours out there trying different areas, trying to figure out. But look at this, somebody put on their car, no TikTok in 2024. I'm like, we're in 2026. So this is what I learned. Tucson isn't necessarily dead, but it's not as consistent as Phoenix. You really have to know where to go. And even then, the pay might not always match the effort. In Phoenix, I feel like I can jump on and get decent orders pretty consistently. Out here in Tucson, it feels more hit or miss depending on the areas and the timing. And definitely, you got to know where to go and how far those orders are going, because my last order took me downtown. Once I seen that's when I ended my dash. But I did not know I was going in that location because I don't know here yet, So I'm going to say what was pretty cool on this run this time around. I did go to more houses and actually it was a little better. I must say, and Tucson seemed pretty spread out. It's pretty huge. So you gotta know where you're going. It's a lot of construction here. So I wasn't maneuvering around as fast as I could have been. But shopping in the stores was pretty much the same because, it's the same stores. But I would say overall that it stayed busy the whole time, and the location that I went to was close to like a shopping mall. This location was, I want to say, it was like some strip where a big park was. A lot of people were out. It was a lot of restaurants over there. So that location was cool. And I didn't go to any apartments. And honestly, I know they have to have apartments there. I seen one once I was done dashing, passing. But most of the orders I went to, which made it pretty good, was houses. Because you know, when you first time dashing in a location and you don't know the apartment complex is already hard, and you know what I'm saying, you new to that location. That's one thing I hate, apartments. But being that, doing DoorDash and stuff, you're gonna get apartments, so that's not a big deal. But and the dash pay here, like the DoorDash pay, was lower, you know what I'm saying? And you really had to rely on the customers tipping, and some of them didn't tip as well. But I got this one order that was the best tip I had during this dash. That was the biggest tip that I had gotten. So that was the biggest order, biggest amount that I made. But overall, it was pretty cool. It was a nice day. And it wasn't hard. The traffic was okay. You know what I'm saying? Maneuvering around. It was busy to be during the week. People were out. I'm like, are everyone off or something? What's going on? But yeah, it was pretty busy even in the morning times. This order right here, this was one of the stack orders that I had got. I think this was the only one that I got on this run this time. And they end up being not as close as the other ones together, but they wasn't that far apart. So this stack order wasn't that bad, but I think here, like I said, they don't tip as high. I don't know if it's just the time of the week that I'm dashing, but for both days, I've seen like the tips are pretty low. Even when I just watched it to see what the orders were looking like, the dash pay started out lower and the tips. So I don't know, if you dash at nights, it is higher sometime. I don't know if that's the case here in Tucson. And they did have some peak pay going on, extra pay, but I didn't get on and dash in time to get the extra pay. I think that would have helped a lot. I would definitely say if you're gonna DoorDash out here, especially during the week, get on there when there's extra pay going on. So would I say Tucson is worth it? Honestly, depends on it.
Yes, for right.
But if you're not in the right area, you can easily waste your time here. Let me know in the comments if you dash in Tucson, what areas you actually work, because I know I'm not the only one trying to figure this out. And if you want me to test more areas out here or break down the best spots, let me know. I definitely can do that.